Well, I said I went to the library, didn't I? I think it's weird. I'm here for weird books. I've got my YouTube ambience on. I've got a coffee. Hello! And welcome to another weekend reading vlog from me, Joanna, me, my dog and books. This weekend, well, the weather's looking a bit ropey today. Although it's supposed to be like thunderstorms and chucking down rain. And there has been chucking down rain, but it's kind of stopped. So I wasn't going to go for a run today, but I think I might before I walk the doggos. I've been doing a bit of this.
Top of mind. So we're going to go through all of these. Big content warnings for these books that I'll be discussing. I'll be discussing aspects of the plot, but I'll try and keep this as spoiler-free as possible. But
It's just nice to sit and watch some booktube and do some cross stitch. I really need to finish that bookmark this weekend because it's for my friend's birthday, which is next weekend. So that's definitely on to do. I was supposed to go to like a anti-war protest today, but I think after the week I've had, I just need to hibernate in my house with books and the dogs and crafty hobbies. So that's the plan. I do need to go to Waterstones at one point this weekend to get my friend a gift. So, but just for my friend, I've had enough pre-orders already arrive. I don't need any more books. And what else will I be doing? I'm doing a wee bit. I'm working tomorrow afternoon for a wee bit. And I think I might record. Sorry, friends. I've not been sleeping well this week and I got up at 3:30 this morning, came downstairs and put on some true crime. And then snoozed on and off. So a wee bit of a tired one today. The other half was out yesterday afternoon with worky friends and came back a little bit worse for wear. Munching on veg pakora, so he's going to be a barrel of laughs today. Says me, who can be very past remarkable about it now because I don't drink anymore. Anywho's, we can check in on my Caroline plant, and I'm actually just going to try and at least finish You Killed Me First on my Kindle because I think I've been reading it for about 2 weeks, which should not be the length of time it takes me to read a short chapter thriller. Pick up another book. I need to finish The Verifiers because I need to do a book review for that on the 24th, which I've got time on, but I feel like I want to get stuck into a new book. So I'll do that today as well. Oh, the true crime documentary I was watching was The Man Who Murdered His Family. It's on BBC iPlayer in the UK. I think it might also be on Apple TV. 3 episodes. That story is wild, especially about the guy just spent a lot of time. He was obviously really lonely and isolated. He lost his job, a lot of stuff he was feeling like. So he went online and developed a relationship with like a online webcam girl. And amongst that, at some point, he murders his brother, his mum and his dad. If that is of interest, definitely check it out. I just found it absorbing to watch. 3 episodes. Check it out. I seem to be indulging a lot in true crime documentaries and reality TV just now because, to be honest, it's a nice distraction from the real world, isn't it? Anywho's, I shall go get my run on, come back, walk dogs, have a shower, then read. Spend the weekend with me friends. Suffice to say, it's very rainy out there. I've been a run and I'm absolutely soaking. So it's time to take the doggos. Here's how they're thinking about it. So Patty's got a little jacket on and it's not really moving from here. Lucy, she can't hear me, she's deaf. Here you like the faces you give me. Look, I know. Okay, we'll go out, a wee walk, get your business done, and then you can come back, lie here, or here, or here, like anywhere. The vibes you're giving me right now is like you hate me. Right, we'll go and we'll get it done, okay? She's not happy. Well, I had the loveliest surprise. The lovely Jen, hope you're watching, Jen, knew I'd been having a tough week and she popped in with flowers. And unbeknownst to her, pink is the splash of colour we have to wear at my friend's send off, aka, if you know, she popped in because she was down visiting people and popped in on the way back. She's got a 4-hour drive home. That's so kind. I'm just going to try and sort you there. And a lovely card as well, which I've got through another room. So after she came round, thank you so much, Jen. Oh, I'm so tired. I woke up at like 3:30 AM and came downstairs and watched some telly and snooze off and on, but I'm very tired. But been to the shops and I thought, you don't really need to know or have asked, but I'll let you know what I bought. Salad. Great, because I eat about one of these a day. That's 2 days worth. I had to get myself these lightly salted rice crackers. They're vegan, they're quite like moreish. Try not to eat too much. Got chocolate crisps. And that for a little half. Smoky bacon and chipotle and lime. It looks quite nice. Vegan and peanut butter for the kids, Kongs. Decaf coffee. Mushroom. The loads of fruit and veg. Carrots for the kids. And I got some multi-seed flatbread thins because I've got a couple of tubs of hummus in the fridge and I'm feeling like I want a snacky snack. So that is You don't need to see my carrot and apples on my Wednesday. I've also been listening to Happy by Derren Brown. My friends Bethany recommended it. I'm actually really enjoying it. Derren Brown, obviously, is he known outside the UK? Call him a magician, but he really does expose, you know, anyone that believes they can speak to the dead, or faith healers and all those kind of things. And this is a book about happiness, or the misperception that you can do positive thinking and happiness, and why that can lead to failure. Anyway, reading it, there's a bit about loss and our feelings around that, so I'm quite enjoying it. Anyway, I'm going to dip some of this into hummus, then have a read stroke nap. It's Sunday morning. I think that's the first I've spoken out loud. I've got my Kindle, I'm still reading. Honestly, this is taking me the longest time ever. You Killed Me First. John Marr's short chapters. I'm going to be honest and say it's not my favourite John Marr's. My favourite John Marr's right now, but it's easy to dip in and out of. I've got my YouTube ambience on. I've got a coffee. Patty is on the beanbag there. Lucy is still upstairs after what happened. Oh, the weather was wild yesterday. But after I showed you my messages, my groceries, sorry, that's what we call them, messages, in the west of Scotland. I'm not really sure why. Should we really Google that? Have I said this out loud before? I can't remember. So last night, it was just because I woke up yesterday at like 3:30. I was just like, come tea time, I was done. But what did I do? The US Open was on the telly, and David was hungover from the day before, so he was just kind of flaked on the couch watching that. So I sat and read my book, but I actually realised I managed about half an hour and then snoozed and then took myself off to bed. So today I am going to show you the books I got from the library. So I went to return one book and pick up one book, and then I picked up, weirdly, like a book I've never heard of before. I'd seen on a new booktuber I started following yesterday, Books in Hand, I think. I'll tag her below in the description. And she was talking about, she seems to like horror and some dark weird books, right, which I'm here for. And one of them, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll show you it later, I'd never heard of, and I'd made a wee note of some of the books that I thought, I need to check my library and stuff. And it was there, it was right there. I was like, no, I've never heard of this book before. Meant to be, so I picked up quite a few books, and then I picked up 2 books. My friend's birthday on the 21st of June. She has her birthday on the longest day of the year. Well, it is the longest day of the year, as in daylight, in the UK. Clearly that's not the case everywhere. But what a cool birthday day. So I always make her up a wee package of things, and that is who I'm making this for. I need to finish, like, her birthday is next Saturday. I need to finish this and then figure out how to do the back. There's a bit of felt for the back. I have no idea how to do that. But I should be able to finish this book today. I'm working 1 till 4. But needs must. I actually could do with the extra 3 hours to get stuck into some stuff that I've not quite managed to get through this week, because, you know, when you're dealing with grief, man, it just distracts your head and you don't work at the same pace. So I maybe wasn't on top tier Joanna working me, so I can catch up with myself today, so that will make me feel calmer about next week. Next week you will definitely see my mum, because I'm looking after my mum for a whole week. She lives with my wee sister and they're away on holiday for
well-deserved break. So I'm picking mum up tomorrow. Actually, we'll get a wee sneaky peek tomorrow. Picking mum up tomorrow, and she's here for the week because she can't really be on her own. And I'm still working, but I don't work Mondays because I work 5 days over 4. And I've taken Thursday off as annual leave so I can take her out for the day. Just as well because although I'm in the office on Wednesday, anyway, just juggling stuff between work and looking after my mum. And I love my mum to bits. But this is probably going to be the longest time I've had to care for her. Says me, my wee sister's caring for her 24/7, so, you know, check my privilege, man. You dig into my patience. But I say this out loud to my mum and my wee sister all the time. I love them to bits. I could never live with them. To be fair, they probably couldn't live with me either. But we have got David's friend. His mum had 2 wheelchairs and she wasn't using them, so we got mum a wheelchair, which means when we go to like out of town shopping outlets like shopping malls, you can normally hire one, like it's free, you just go and get one, and that's great because I can take her out and she can go longer distance, and she doesn't, like sometimes she's quite aware how slow she is, and I feel for her because I'm like, it's fine, I'll just walk slower, it's fine. But also I think it's quite tiring and she gets frustrated. So this means we can do charity shop stuff, so I'll need to try her out on it. That'll be next week. We get to see her tomorrow. She's been painting again, which is quite nice. And I think she's painted me at least one painting for the house. So we're going to try and get a frame for it. It's lovely. So I might take her to Ikea actually, I think. Oh, going to Ikea, that's dangerous, isn't it? Anyway, I ramble. I'm going to read this, drink my tea, and go for a run or do yoga later. I'll decide later. Catch you later. So friends, I'm going to show you where I planted my Caroline plant. So I've put it, we had terrible downpour yesterday. So right next to my egg chair, here she is. Oh, get off, you monkey. Oh. I'll protect you, look. Let's try and munch you. I'll be putting some coffee granules around this. Make sure there's no other. Oof. It's because everybody loves even the bloody slugs. I'll be not having any of that. Glad I checked. Said slug was just thrown somewhere over there. Don't worry, no harm. You can't be eaten. Oh, for God's sakes. Get a wee bit. Wait, there's another slug there. No. Oh, maybe on slug patrol now. Get these wee bits. Sorry, this is this is boring. Patty's come to see. Coffee granules are going round once I've finished my coffee in the filter machine. Oof. Glad I came to see you this morning. You're so pretty. Well, I said I went to the library, didn't I? I went to return one book and pick up one book. That's not what happened, as you can see. So, have I spoke to you this morning? It's Sunday. I think I have. I got up stupid early. I woke up at like 4:30 again. So been napping on the couch after my dinner. And I've been working. I finished work. And I thought, I'll tell you all about the books I got from the library. So this is the one I picked up because I'd reserved this one. I have no idea what it's about. It's Lauren in the Book's July book club read. Yeah. And basically the options were a chunky summer one. And I've no idea what this is about. Pure heaven from the first word to last. The Whalebone Theatre, by Joanna, Quinn,
a wonderful debut. I'm not going to read the full back, but it says, a book that will be loved unreasonably and lifelong. There's a lot of hype on this book. There's a lot of hype. It says, this is the story of an old English manor house by the sea, with crumbling chimneys, draping ivy, and a library full of dusty hardbacks. There's books. It's the story of 3 children who grew up there and the adventures they create for themselves while the grown-ups entertain endless party guests. The worlds they imagine from books they aren't supposed to read, and the lessons they learn from eavesdropping through old panelled doors. I do like the cover. Anyone read this? Let me know in the comments, because I've never heard of it. And I picked up another cookery book. I am a big fan of picking up cookery books at the library. I think it's a good way to get an idea if you... Because cookery books are not cheap. So if you want to... I mean, you can get loads of recipes online, so you don't necessarily... But I do love a cookery book. So I got this one, Jack Monroe, Vegan-ish, 100 simple budget recipes that don't cost the earth. We've got good lunch ones, and then, oh, there's cooked ones, and then the cooked ones. There's cakes and like roast dinners, vegan roast dinners. So I'll be checking that out. Then I have only seen this one on a couple, like 1 or 2 people's Instagram accounts. So I think it's relatively new out. I think it's just came out. I'm the first person to have this, I see. And I'm not going to lie, the cover made me do it. It is Julie Tudor is, scored out, not a psychopath. What's a little murder in the name of love? So I'm kind of here for that. It says, meet Julie Tudor, hard worker, hopelessly in love, not a psychopath. There was only one thing to do. I raised the tenderizer and brought it down on her head. She did not crack as easily as the vase had. In fact, she stood there staring at me for a moment, hardly dented. And then she ran. What else could I do but run after her? I mean, this sounds delightful. If anyone's read this, it's by, if anyone's read this, let me know. It says, I don't know anything about the author, is this? I think she's, no. This is her debut novel, and I'm here for the premise and the cover. Then, I don't know what it is, right, friends? You know I'm not really into romance at all. Like, the amount of romance I can deal with is probably like PG-13, You've Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle, Closed Door, Don't Tell Me Too Much. In the odd occasion, I will read a horror book that maybe gets a bit graphic, but I can handle that if it's very slight, passes quickly, and there's lots more horror in the mix. That's a long way of telling you that I picked up Funny Story by Emily Henry. I've read Book Lovers, can't remember the other one. Beach Read was the first Emily Henry I read. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Then I bought the next 2. One was Book Lovers, and I can't remember the other one, but I'll put it here, right? I didn't like them. I was just a bit like, I think maybe in Beach Read, the setting, small town, 2 writers writing different genres and kind of testing each other to write each other's genres, and then there's the kind of humorous banter, and obviously eventually a love interest, right? But there seemed to be more banter than the love interest. And her latest book, Great Beautiful Life, has just came out, and it's getting mixed reviews because a lot of people are like, there's not as much of the love interest story as in compared to other books. And I'm like, I might actually like this then. Anyway, that's not the book I picked up, clearly. It's the other book called Funny Story. And I thought, well, I've heard a few people say they like Funny Story, and I'll just give it a bash. At this moment in time, my head is mush. And so I'm like, 2 total opposites, the wrong thing in common. Now that's a funny story. I think basically, right, it says, Daphne always loved the way Peter told their story. That's until it became the prologue to his actual love story with his childhood bestie, Petra. So I think this might be what's the romance trope when someone loves someone but they don't love them back because they love someone else that's in their friend group? Answers on a postcard. Oh, there's the other one. You and Me on Vacation. That was the other one I didn't like because they're just there at the bottom. J'adored beach read. Still love it. Did not enjoy this one. Did not enjoy this one. Still to read this one. I don't know why I'm still... Do you know why I think I'm still giving Emily Henry a bash? Because her satirical banter between the love interests is normally pretty funny. Anyway. From me picking up romance, who even am I, I'm going through stuff, to guaranteed, it's summer times. I mean, I might not look it today, it's a bit grey. I believe sunshine is coming this week. Summer times, this looks like summer vibes. Ruth Ware, she's a bit in hit and miss for me on thrillers, but I'll always normally pick them up from the library. It's One Perfect Couple, 10 Islanders, A Deadly Game, Are You a Survivor or a Traitor? That sounds like a lot of reality game shows in one. 5 Beautiful Couples. I don't know. Why did I do? Like, that is me instantly putting on a beautiful face. No. 5 beautiful couples, One Deadly Game, Who Will Escape Alive? And it's it's a new reality TV show that they go on, and it's set in a luxury resort in the Indian Ocean. So summer thriller vibes, here for it. Then I started watching, thanks to my lovely friend Elaine in work. She told me about a new booktuber called Books in Hand. I think I've maybe referenced them earlier. I was making notes of books that they were mentioning, like favourite horror books or like female rage books. I think this is a horror one. I can't remember. But I wrote it down and walked into the library. Never heard of this book before, and it was sitting up on display. And it's How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. Haunting and luminous and astonishing debut, right? And I've picked this up and I vaguely remember what she said, why she liked it. I think it's weird. I'm here for weird books. Anyway. There's a lot of blurbs, so I'm not going to read it all. But in summary, it says, from funerary skyscrapers to hotels for the dead, How High We Go in the Dark follows a cast of intricately linked characters spanning hundreds of years as humanity endeavours to restore the delicate balance of the world. This is a story of unshakable hope that crosses literary lines to give us a world rebuilding itself through an endless capacity for love, resilience, and intervention. That sounds wild, weird, and a wee bit sci-fi, or... So I'm either going to really gel with it because it's weird, or it'll be like too sci-fi for my head. I cannot confirm, but she talked about it far better than me. Well, clearly I've not read it, so I don't know, but there was something that just pulled me in. It says she. Sorry. It's a guy, I think. I mean, unconfirmed of their pronouns, but apologies. That's me. It makes a difference for assuming the writer's a man. A Japanese-American writer. Currently lives in Minnesota with his wife Kat and a robot dog named Calvino. I think I like this author already. I've not even read their books. So that there is my library haul. Do I need any more books out of the library? No. Do I already have 20 in the house? Yes. Have I had problems reading recently? Of course. But it won't stop me picking up 3 books. Then I finally finished a book. Friends, it's been long for me because normally I'm reading a couple a week, right? And that's not happened until today, and I finished You Killed Me First by John Mars. John Mars is normally a guaranteed page-turner thriller, minimum 3 stars, most likely 4 or 5. I tend to veer towards his speculative fiction, his kind of dystopian books, but I will always pick up his like psychological domestic thrillers. And this one came out earlier in the year. I think it came out in February. Got it on my Kindle and I was like, this is what I need right now. And bear in mind, my head's not been fully in it and I've maybe not been in the best reading mood, right? But I don't think that, I mean, that will affect my reading experience. So if you love this book, don't come for me, just blame my mental state right now. But I got to 70%, right? There's 3 main POVs, like Anna, Liv and Margot. And it's a great start to the book. You start in the book where you don't know what character it is, but they wake up inside a bonfire before it's lit on Guy Fawkes Day. A stupid celebration in the UK, right? Where they have bonfires and fireworks. And she's like, oh my god, I've got minutes before this hits the light and I'm gonna die. And then it jumps, so that's how it opens, and then it jumps, so it's totally grip and start, and then it jumps back to like a year, like 12 months before, 11 months before bonfire night, and you meet these 3 characters, Margot, Liv and Anna, who I think they're kind of relatively close by neighbours, one new into the state, and so they're chatting away. You're starting to figure out the relationship between them. Some's a bit more tense than others, and then you're a bit like, some of these have secrets, the usual. And you have different POVs, which I quite liked, and then you have the timelines. And then you have dark secrets and try to figure out who was in the bonfire, and then who's got a secret and try to hide something from someone else. So normally I find that really intriguing, but in this instance I was just like, it felt like it dragged out. Felt there was a couple of more like unnecessary story plot lines in it that needed to be, and I'm not gonna lie, by the time it got to the last 30% I was skim reading it. I was just like, I'm kind of bored, because this is how I read my Kindle, just tap tap tap. Kind of bored, kind of don't really care what happens to these. I got this far in, can we just somehow finish it? That's never a great way to think about a book, and that's how I thought about it. So, however, no, there are mixed reviews for this, so I would say check out the reviews and note that I'm maybe not in the most positive reading state, but I'm not the only person that felt meh about this book. That's not justifying, that's just making me feel better about myself, because I don't like bashing on John Mars, because I do really like his books and I absolutely adore his speculative fiction, but this one just was not for me. So that's my review for that. I am going to peel potatoes because we're having vegan pie and mash for dinner, and then I think I'm going to try and finish my cross stitch. Well, I really want to watch Confessions of a Parent Killer on Paramount Plus, and I was like, I don't have Paramount Plus, how am I going to watch this? But it is an additional subscription you can pay for on Amazon, and most of these you get a 7-day free trial, so I'm getting a 7-day free trial and watching that tonight. I'm going to guilt David into watching it because he's been watching the US Open all weekend, and I feel like I've just not had the TV, so maybe I can make him feel guilty about that so I can get my true crime fix in the mix. And then tomorrow morning, it is Monday, it's my day off, and I should be starting the morning with a bit of reading, and then I need to go and pick up my mum because she's coming to stay for the week, which will be simultaneously delightful and exhausting. But you'll get to see her very fleetingly tomorrow, and then all next weekend. So I will catch you tomorrow because I'm off to get my dinner ready. I'm on my Monday morning run.
The road's busy because people are all heading off for their start of their week. I am listening to Happy by Derren Brown, and I'm finding it interesting. I'm taking snippets from it. I'm enjoying it. Not loving it, but I'm enjoying it. There's quite a few things that you can take away from just, you know, the obsession with positive thinking and the pursuit of happiness and what that really means, which I'm enjoying right now. Part 3, so it's in parts. Part 3, I've just started on this run. It's about death, which I'm finding quite interesting at the moment. So it's a helpful running companion is what I would say. Also, like, I'm going to turn you around because I'm absolutely adore daisies. Look at this. Look at these guys. They're just so beautiful. Let me know in the comments, do you have favourite flowers? I mean, I love all flowers. I even love these guys. Look. And look, there's a thistle. Oh, is that maybe a thistle coming? I don't know. It looks jagged for a thistle. Oh, there it is. Look at them. Now, that there is a Scottish flower. Sometimes just being close to any form of nature just can bring solace. Also gives me an excuse to stop my run. Look at me and my daisy. Yay. Anyway, I suppose I better finish this run. I need to walk the dogs and then go and pick up my mum. Oh, look at this flower. What is this? What's this one? I like that. Look at it. Look at the detail in its petals. Wow. This is probably the closest I'll be to being with that bird. Anyway, enough procrastinating. Let's get running. Walk the dogs. Get the mum. Here's mum. She's been outside. What have you been outside reading, mum?
No, I was walking, I did 5, back and forth.
Did you?
Then I'll do another 5 if it stays dry.
Walking with your walking stick? And then you're reading this, aren't you?
I should know
What's this?
That.
Time's Up, you're next. Is that a thriller?
Eh?
It's a thriller?
Aye, it'd be great as a film actually.
You take your sun hat off now.
Do
you want another wee cup of tea?
Aye, that'd be nice.
And friends, it's another end of a weekend reading vlog. Oh, it's been a weekend, but surprisingly I've read some books. Oh, one I wanted to talk to you about was the sad book, the Sad Ghost Club, which is a lovely graphic novel. It's a lovely graphic novel, and this one I've had on my bookcase forever and ever, and there's a book 2 which I'll probably read this weekend, I think. And in this we have a ghost called, what's the ghost called? I can't remember. I read it the other day. Anyway, there is a ghost. This is a sad ghost because they feel depressed and upset and not quite themselves, and just exhibits symptoms of depression, but in a very poignant way talks about that after they make the decision to go to, so you feel like they're maybe in high school or something and they make the decision to go to a party and they feel really left out. They're just sitting there, so they decide to leave, but at the point they see another sad ghost, and so they take said sad ghost up to this point near where they stay, where they look down over if I can see it, they look down over the rest of the town. It's a wee bench in amongst the trees, and they take the other ghost there, and they talk about feelings or not having feelings, or they talk about their struggles, and it is just sweet and delightful and lovely. I am going to read book 2. It literally didn't take me that long to read it, and it just feels like at the very end, well, not actually, I mean, they talk about their swirling anxious thoughts, and just as a lovely way to talk about certain mental health struggles without it being direct, but done in such a lovely way, and the illustrations are just lovely. Like, I really like them. So this was delightful. So I'm going to read book 2. Then I also finished Happy by Derren Brown. I read it in audio, and I do like Derren Brown as the magician that he is, and this is the first time I don't know if he's got any more books, but this was the first book that I read, and it talks a lot about the positive thought industry, or the PR that's around that. Like, positive thinking will just make you happy, and positive thinking will make you this, and being happy is gained by doing XYZ, and he exposes a lot of that. It's in quite a few parts, but the part that sits with me because of recent things in my life where I've lost a close friend is part 3 was about death, and there was a lack of conversation around that, but how we prepare ourselves, and how understanding death and loss and grief can help feed in to your current state of happiness, or how we seek it, or how just the more complexities around it, which I really liked, and I thought it was quite poignant. For some it might be too much if they're in, you know, and like, people deal with grief differently, so it might be too much for some people, but I liked how he told the story of just basically, you know, the wellness industry, the do these 5 things every day and write in your gratitude journal and you'll be happy, and the expectation and the impact of that. It actually just like is a complete opposite of what they're effectively trying to sell you, capitalise on. So I would say check out, definitely on audiobook. I quite enjoyed it on audio. It's probably one you can dip in and out of based on the parts and the bits that you're maybe interested in. So yeah, I actually did finish books. I don't know how that happened, but I feel like I've got a wee bit of a reading mojo back, which has been a nice distraction. Mum's here, as you know, so you'll get to see her next weekend reading vlog. And if you've got this far and you don't know what to say but would like to let me know you're here in the comments, because it means a lot, just send me a love heart emoji. And I'd also like to say thanks to everybody that sent me lovely comments recently. I've really needed it, and it's helped a lot, so thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you all in another bookish video very soon. So thank you as always for liking, for commenting. If you don't already, please do subscribe, and I look forward to seeing another bookish video very soon. Cheerio.